Hey guys, it's Miss Lewis doing today's read aloud of One Crazy Summer. We'll be reading chapters 9 and 10. Alright, get your thought tracks ready so you can mark any comments, questions, or thoughts you have about what we're reading. We're going to start on page 56 with chapter 9, Inseparable. If you girls want breakfast, go on down to the People's Center. We all said together, the People's Center? Without skipping a beat, Cecile said, next to the library on Orchard. Just keep walking till you see kids and old people lined up. You're not going to take us? I didn't mean it to worm out as a question and was mad at myself for asking instead of stating. You don't need me to walk down the street. The park is on the other side. Y'all can run around after breakfast or stay for the program at the center. It don't make me no difference. Cecile pointed a fountain pen at me. 2 more pens were stuck in her hair. You the oldest, you can read street signs. Vanetta, indignant, said, I can read street signs too. Me too. Instead of saying, I didn't ask for all that, like I expected, Cecile smacked her palm against her thigh and said, then that settles it. Step out this door, cross the street, keep going a block till you get to Orchard. If you can read, you can't miss the O in Orchard. Turn left, keep walking till you see the library. Center's on the same block. Can't miss it. Nothing but black boats and black clothes, rapping Revolution, and a line of hungry black kids. Then she cut herself off from us, tapped her fountain pen, and repeated, black folks in black clothes, rapping Revolution. We had Black Panthers in Brooklyn. Black Panther posters with Seize the Time stapled on telephone poles. We just never had any Black Panthers marching down Herkimer Street, knocking on our door demanding that we give to the cause or calling us some kind of sister name we had never heard of. My sisters and I didn't make a move toward the door. We couldn't believe our ears. Our crazy mother was sending us outside to find militant strangers if we wanted to eat. She said, wait. I hoped she had changed her mind about us going to the center. She went into the kitchen and came out with a cardboard box, a little smaller than the shoe box for Papa's work boots. Here, she said, take this to the center. Give it to the Panthers. Tell them it's from Enzilla. That's what I thought she said. Enzilla. She put the box in my hands. Who do I? Just find a black beret. Any black beret will do. Make sure you tell them I gave to the cause. You tell them, don't come knocking on my door asking for my materials. I knew I wouldn't be telling no Black Panthers what Cecile said, that she gave to the cause and not to come knocking on her door for her stuff. I just took the box and nodded, because that's how you treat crazy people. You nod and count down 27 days for crazy to come to an end. Vanetta and Fern looked to me for what to do next, and Cecile noticed this. There was a no-lip smile from Cecile, but her eyes found it funny that they always looked to me first. Come on, I said. Let's go get breakfast. We were about to leave, but Fern stopped cold. Her eyes bugged out, and she balled her fist. Wait! Wait! Vanetta and I waited while she ran into the back room, her steps all buffalo stomps. I didn't mind Fern stomping because it annoyed Cecile that our house had been invaded by our mouths, once, and feet. It served her right. Both Vanetta and I knew why Fern ran back to the room. We'd been seeing this go on for years. Fern returned with Miss Pattycake in tow. From her look of disgust, I believe Cecile would have spat on her own floor if she wouldn't have had to clean it up. Aren't you too big to be dragging that thing with you? As far as I was concerned, Cecile had nothing to say about Fern and Miss Pattycake. Miss Pattycake was there when Cecile wasn't. Now I smiled. I'd understood that Fern and Miss Pattycake were like that Nat King Cole song, Unforgettable. When I first heard his satiny smooth voice sing, like a song of love that clings to me, I knew Miss Pattycake was like that song of love to Fern. Cecile thought Fern would buckle under a 7-year-old's shame. When Fern didn't answer, she asked again, Aren't you too big for all of that? Fern shook 4 braids and barrettes and said, "No," taking in delight in answering no for no's sake. No, because Cecile didn't have a hug and a kiss that Fern expected. No, because Cecile didn't leap up and get that cold glass of water. No, because Cecile had yet to call Fern, Fern. Vanetta groaned. She had fought enough name-callers on behalf of Miss Pattycake. I had fought my share too, but so what? It was for Fern and her doll. Except for going to school and church, Fern and Miss Pattycake had been inseparable for as long as Fern or anyone else could remember. Cecile shook like we had given her the willies. She probably asked herself, who are these kids? There was no use in standing around for a long farewell and a list of do's and don'ts. We weren't leaving Big Ma. We were leaving Cecile with her kitchen and her palm tree. Just as I had felt we had gotten the last lick by turning and going, Cecile said, "Don't kill yourself to get back here. Stay out till sundown." We walked along the street, a moving triangle, me in the front, Vanetta and Fern with Miss Pattycake, behind me at both sides. "I want to go home." "Me too." I knew which home they meant. I said, "We're going back home in 27 days. "Let's call Papa," Vanetta said, "and Big Ma." I said, "Not yet. Big Ma hasn't gotten over the collect call from yesterday. We got to get up enough dimes to make a real call across the country." Vanessa said, "We should call Papa. Tell him she's mean. And she don't want us. And she won't cook or let us in the kitchen. To get a cold glass of water. In her kitchen. In her house." I said, "We will. Just not yet." Papa said, Vanetta said, "If Big Ma knew, and Papa, they'd be here lightning quick to get us. Yeah, quick like lightning." I said, "We'll need a lot of dimes." Chapter 10. Breakfast Program. We found the center like Cecile said we would. A line of hungry kids waited for breakfast, except they weren't all black. They were older teens in mostly black clothes and afros posted like soldiers guarding the outside. That hardly seemed necessary when a white and black police car circled around the block. Vanetta was already smiling and showing anyone who'd look her way that she was worth a smile back. She had picked out 3 girls who looked alike enough to be sisters, each one as thick as my sisters and I were lanky. They wore white boots and daisy dresses with flare sleeves. They might as well have been going to a go-go, not to a free breakfast. I kept Fern near, my arms crossed before me. I was here to make sure my sisters and I ate breakfast, and to stay out of Cecile's hair. If Vanetta wanted to get her feelings hurt chasing after smiles and go-go boots, that was on her. The Panthers opened the doors and we trailed inside, the 3 of us sticking close together. As we entered, I did what Cecile said. I handed the box to the first Black Panther I saw and said, "This is from Cecile." I wasn't about to call her some name I didn't know, or tell them she said to leave her alone. The Black Panther guy opened the box. He took out a sheet from a stack of paper, a flyer with a crouching Black Panther and some writing on it, and held it up to examine it. He nodded, said, "Thank you, sister," and took the box with them. The 3 girls in the flower dresses were standing on line looking at us. Vanetta tried to steer me over to them, but I didn't want to go chasing after them. Their dresses looked so nice and new. We wore shorts and suntops, although Oakland wasn't as sunny as we'd imagined California would be. I found us a place online behind Puerto Ricans who didn't look Puerto Rican, but who spoke Spanish. Then I remembered our study of the 50 states. They were probably Mexicans. I thought Black Panthers would only look out for black people, but there were the 2 Mexicans, a little white boy, and a boy who looked both black and Chinese. Everyone else was black. I'd never seen the Black Panthers making breakfast on the news. But then, beating eggs never makes the evening news. As we stood on line, a guy who should have kept walking stopped right in front of us. He crossed his arms and looked down at Fern. I recognized the beakish nose on that narrow face. He was the one in the telephone booth who had turned his back to us, like he didn't want to be seen. For all I knew, he was one of those in the black berets and afros who had come knocking on Cecile's door last night. Now he stood across from Fern, his legs apart and his arms folded. "What is wrong with this picture?" he stated instead of asked. He knew the answer all right. I was pretty good at reading faces. He didn't have a leather jacket, but he was one of them. On his black t-shirt was a dead white pig with flies buzzing around it and the words "Off the Pig" in white letters. His hair was a big loose afro because it was a little stringy. Stringy like Lucy Raleigh's, who bragged about being part Chickasaw in the 4th grade, but by 5th grade she was singing "I'm Black and I'm Proud" louder than loud because James Brown's song had made it the thing to do. The stringy afro-wearing beak wasn't Papa grown or Cecile grown. Probably all of 19 or 20, but he thought he was something. He was putting on a show for all the other black beret wearers. When none of us spoke, he pointed and asked again the question whose answer he already knew. "What is wrong with this picture?" Fern pointed back at him and said, "I don't know. What's wrong with this picture?" The other Black Panthers laughed and told Fern, "That's right, little sis. Don't take nothing from no one." And they slapped palms and said stuff like, "These are Sister Anzilla's, all right. Look at them." Beak Man tried to stand up to his humiliation, shake it off. "Little sis, are you a white girl or a black girl?" Fern said, "I'm a colored girl." He didn't like the sound of colored girl. He said, "Black girl." Fern said, "Colored." "Black girl." Vanetta and I threw our colored on top of Fern's like we were ring tossing at Coney Island. This was bigger than "Say it loud, I'm black and I'm proud." If one of us said colored, we all said colored, unless we were fighting among ourselves. "All right then, colored girls," Big Beak said. "Why are you carrying that self-hatred around your arms?" An older teenage girl in a Cal State t-shirt said, "Kelvin, you're crazy. Leave those colored girls alone." Big-beaked, stringy-haired Kelvin looked pleased with himself. I said, "That's not self-hatred. That's her doll." "Yeah, a doll baby. Miss Patty Cake." In spite of the Cal State girl and the other Black Panthers saying leave those girls alone, he went on. "Are your eyes blue like hers? Is your hair blonde like hers? Is your skin white like hers?" The girl said again, "Crazy Kelvin, just stop it. Just stop it." Crazy Kelvin turned to a lady who wore an African print dress and a matching cloth wrapped around her head. "Sister Mukumbu, our colored girls here need some re-education." And he walked away, one of those pimp walks like, "How you like me now?" Sister Mukumbu just smiled at him like she didn't take Crazy Kelvin seriously. She and the Cal State girl exchanged a look. The Cal State girl turned toward me and said, "Don't mind Crazy Kelvin. That's what we call him. He's a little wild." For all that, the eggs were cold, but we ate them, along with the butter toast and orange slices. It was better than eating air sandwiches at the Seals. Fern hugged Miss Patty Cake but refrained from putting a piece of toast to her doll's lips like she would have done at home. Still, the other kids laughed at her and called her White Baby Lover and Big Baby, except for the boy who had looked both colored and Chinese. I told him to shut up. And that went for the 3 sisters in flower dresses, even the tallest sister. No one could call Fern White Baby Lover, even though Miss Patty Cake was a white baby, and Fern loved her. No one could call Fern a big baby but Vanetta and me. Vanetta ate her toast silently. We had cost Vanetta her summer friends with the white go-go boots and happening dresses. But I didn't care. Fern could love Miss Patty Cake all she wanted. We could call ourselves vanilla wafers, chocolate chips, or Oreo cookies for all I cared about black girls and colored girls. And even though Cecile didn't bother to bring us here or stick up for Fern, the Black Panthers had slapped palms and said, "Those are Sister Anzilla's, all right." Whew. We are stopping today on page 67. I hope you enjoyed reading with me today. Go ahead and head over to Padlet to answer your One Crazy Summer questions. See you later.